Friday, you definitely have that feeling of this great thing that's coming, and the weekend is just around the corner. So, hey, hurrah, it's Friday. So, just talking about some random things in the news. We recently had a Catholic priest that was hit on his bike and was killed instantly, and it just makes you wonder about the randomness of life, and whether it's are people going to say that this was preordained by God, that he was hit by a car? It just makes you wonder about the randomness of life, and whether it's not the quantity of life we have, but the quality we have in this moment that's meaningful. So this priest in our area, he apparently was an elderly person, I think, that hit him on the bike, and people are in shock. There are people on Facebook that, especially the Catholic community, friends I have on Facebook that are Catholic, and they're just like, wow, I can't even believe this happened. Vic is dead. As word of the friendly priest's death spread throughout the community late yesterday, the news was met with disbelief and tears, followed by countless recollections of a man who was quick with a smile or a joke and is passionate about ministering to the less fortunate. The priest was bicycling along Prairie Trail Wednesday night when he rode into a path of a vehicle traveled along the Highway 151. So just complete and utter shock. Apparently this was one of those guys who was very outwardly directed, and he was very, very giving, and it's kind of like, when somebody like that passes away, it's very special to remember him, because he gave his life to so many people. Gave his just pure giving and pure love, and people are just like in shock. A fellow priest at Holy Family, a good friend of the victim, said that he was an avid bike rider and often preached to him about the importance of wearing a helmet. How ironic that is. And that he was out visiting parishioners, and he was on his way home. So, it's the 11th fatality of the year in this county. Just countless. You got to wonder, people say, it's God's will, that it happened. But you got to wonder, it's just got to hurry up and live now, because we just don't know. So there's kind of a significant thing in the news. Now, what I will say is that there are a lot of things in life that can motivate us, and one of the things that's motivating me quite a bit is writing characters into my novel and using quotes from those. I'm kind of like a quote nut, and using quotes. So in my upcoming novel, which is about a priest losing his faith, by the way, and it's not just something that would slam religion, but it's something that it's going to try to put all the pieces together with regard to human doubt, and examining that doubt as something real and honest, rather than something as you against me, I believe and you don't believe, that kind of thing. But I'm going to actually I've already put Christopher Hitchens into the book, and I'm also going to put Leo Buscaglia into the book, and probably Robert Ingersoll. And so it's going to be interesting. A very powerful faith, challenging your faith, earnestly wanting to believe, this preacher that's losing his faith. But the book is covered with quotes from atheists. So it's a dynamic I'm having fun with. But some of the things that the Buscaglia character is going to say is, change is the end result of all true learning. Death is a challenge. It tells us not to waste time. It tells us to tell each other right now that we love each other. A single rose can be my garden, a single friend my world. When you think about that, a single friend could mean all the difference in the world. It could turn your world around. And imagine the power that we have to help each other that we're not using. It's like what is that Beatles song or the George Harrison song, While My Guitar Slowly Weeps or Silently Weeps, all the love that's not being used. And that's, of course, I got the words all wrong there. I still get wildly enthusiastic about little things. I play with leaves. I skip down the street and run against the wind. That was Leo until the end. He lived till he was in his 70s, mid 70s, I think. And he had this childlike wonder. I think there's things in the Bible that talk about living with childlike wonder the rest of your life, and that's the most healthy way to live, rather than, sulking in this adult depression and all my friends around me are dying and all this stuff. There's no time. There's really no time to get down. It's time to look at the glass half full and not to sulk in your own sorrow. Love always creates, it never destroys. Love is always open arms. Love is life. And if you miss love, you miss life. Only the weak are cruel. Gentleness can only be expected from the strong. So, I've always thought of my life that I'm kind of doing it the hard way, the long way, but it's worth it. I really do think I'm doing it the hard way. When I could just sit back and not examine my life, and it would be real easy. But, what's the fun in that? Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, a smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. What love we've given, we have forever. What love we fail to give will be lost for all eternity. What we call the secret of happiness is no more a secret than our willingness to choose life. Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. So you've got this finite life, right? So you might as well live it to the extent to live it, play it out to as far as you can go. I'm not saying, carry a cross down Main Street or something, but in some sense you are sort of a, I use a Christian analogy. In some sense you are this martyr for your own cause, and most people won't see the real good in you and what you're really trying to do. They won't get you. Maybe till the end, and oh my gosh, he was a good guy. So there's Leo, and then Robert Greene Ingersoll, fascinating character. My grandmother really, apparently, and I wish I would have talked to her more about this, but apparently she really liked Robert Greene Ingersoll. Courage without conscience is a wild beast. Anger is a wind that blows out the lamp of the mind, which means that if we're not even keel and we let anger blow out the wind of our sails, we're essentially impotent to do anything loving. Give to every human being every right that you claim for yourself. I would rather live in love where death is king than have eternal life where love is not. Wow, that is amazing right there. Happiness is the only good. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to make others so. Wow, that's pretty cool, huh? So if you give yourself, your personality, your true love to others, it's going to come back 5, 10, 20, 100-fold. And until you experience that, you just don't know. In the Republic of Mediocrity, genius is dangerous. Now that means that if you dare speak out and use your real intelligence, look at the way we talk to each other in real life. It's just all superficial. When we deal with important issues, we're hunkered in corners, and we realize, people can talk differently when they're important issues, and very intelligently. But people don't share the intelligence until they feel safe that they can. Religion can never reform mankind because religion is slavery, he said too. That's a little extreme. Tolerance is giving to each other human being every right that you claim for yourself. What light is to the eyes, what air is to the lungs, what love is to the heart, liberty is to the soul of man. When the will defies fear, when duty throws the gauntlet down to fate, when honor scorns to compromise with death, that is heroism. So, I like this. This is probably the best one here. The greatest test of courage on earth is to bear defeat without losing heart. And I think there's another quote too about the most difficult thing to do is to be yourself. If you can be yourself, totally yourself, which is sort of a paradox because you can't really be, but you gotta be. If you can be totally yourself, or at least 99% to that, that's a victory, because we have so many outward influences. So what does being yourself really mean? Somebody like Sam Harris would say, well, there's no free will. Being yourself, that's a ridiculous concept. But I think if you can be, let's take the mathematical thinking and the limit to infinity, the limit to infinity individualism, the limit to infinity being totally a critical thinker and an independent thinker. Okay, so the limit of independent thinking is what? A total vacuum and nobody influencing you. However, you do need other people in order to be yourself. So that's, I don't know, there's a paradox for you. So anyway, there's some thoughts there. So just some things in the news today, and the Packers won last night, so that's really cool. Okay, very cool stuff. So anyway, random things happen in life, so live your life now. Hug the ones you love, and really say the meaningful things now, because you may not get a chance again. So over and out, and also it was a pleasure doing some quotes for you. I like quotes, and I'll probably be quoting from my new novel more often here. But thanks for hearing me out here, and I will promise to quit the bad guitar playing for a while. So, but I just wanted to do that guitar song for Thoristan because the song "Senior" in the fourth capo is pretty cool. Over and out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye bye.